So today I want to talk about how the body works from a fruitarian and also a terrain model perspective. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the RL Truth. And if you like what I've been posting so far and you want to continue on my journey, go ahead and click that subscribe button now. All of us have been conditioned to kind of look at health from a reactive perspective, a reactive standpoint instead of a proactive standpoint. We've all been indoctrinated with what is called germ theory, the thought that outside entities are attacking our body at all times and our body is constantly on defense. It's kind of what we've been brainwashed to believe, you know, from our youth. We're kind of born into this world and we're kind of taught those things. So we don't put a lot of emphasis on our diet. We put more emphasis on the reactive aspects of what happens when our body gets sick, not truly understanding why our body gets sick. And, you know, I'll continue to do videos to dive deeper into this and kind of break down things individually, but this is ultimately what got me on my path to becoming a majority fruitarian. And in my opinion, it's empowering. Like, it's truly empowering to know that you have the power, you know, to control your own health. Now, is it easy? No, of course not. But having the knowledge is the first step, because I know I'm not perfect, and I'm gonna guess you out there, you're not perfect as well. I still have my battles. I'm still not 100% where I wanna be, but having the knowledge and the understanding of how the body works enables me to look at things from a completely different perspective now. So, like, I gave up meat about 5 years ago, a little bit, almost 5.5 years ago, actually. And I ate like shit. I was a vegetarian with vegan tendencies. You know, I still ate some cheese and whatnot. But I was an unhealthy vegetarian. You know, it was the beginning of my journey, but you know, throughout those 5 years, I started to realize that, you know, this isn't sustainable. So I had to keep digging and keep learning more and more. Shout out to Dr. David Morse. You can see his book in the background. Robert Morse. Dr. Robert Morse, you see his book in the background. Him and his videos taught me so much, as well as that book right there and a plethora of other books as well. But look, the body itself, how does the body work? You know, I've broken it down to a pretty basic philosophy, and it starts with energy efficiency. Now, like, we're all energetic beings, all of us. We're made of energy, right? Energy is what enables our body to do what it does, to think, to react, for me to move my fingers, to digestion, to, you know, causing a healing event, giving your body a fever, all those different things, all energy based. And modern science and a lot of mainstream science may tell you different. They don't look at the energetic aspect of our lives, the spiritual aspect. Because look, when we die, when we transition, the body, the physical aspect is gone, but the energy remains. And the energy is really the foundation of everything. So energy efficiency, what does that mean? Well, ultimately, everybody's born with a different disposition based on our mother living in the womb, what her terrain conditions were, what she ate, what medication she took. Basically, the condition of her terrain gets passed on to you, and the condition of her mother's terrain is passed down as well. So that's when people say genes, genetics, that's what they're speaking of. And that's where you start off with certain dispositions. You may be born with certain deficiencies in certain areas. That doesn't mean that you have to act on those deficiencies, as the great Dr. Joe Dispenza would say. You don't have to act on those dispositions, but it's good to understand that you may have some dispositions, because if you continuously eat the wrong foods and are continuously consuming different toxicity, eventually those weak dispositions are going to come to light. But the beauty of it is you have control of that through energy efficiency. So we're born with a certain amount of vital energy, almost like a battery pack. That's the easiest way for me to put it, like a battery pack. And based on how much energy you consume and how much energy you deplete is going to see where you're at, how much battery you have left for the tenure of your lifetime. So understand that digestion is one of the biggest energy drains on the body, plain and simple. So you want to eat foods that are going to tax the body the least amount. And those foods are fruits. If you look at the digestion time of foods, fruits and melons are the fastest because they're so water-based that they can digest within 30 minutes to 1 hour. That's why you don't want to eat those with any other fruits. You want to eat them by themselves. You'll hear some people say, well, I can't eat watermelon, it makes my stomach hurt, or I can't eat melons because, this, that, and the other. It's most likely because they are combining them with other foods. So when that quick digestion happens and that other food's not ready to digest, what it does, it sits there. It sits there in a holding pattern, almost like on a wait list. And that's what causes issues. So fruits are obviously the most energy efficient, but melons are by far the number one. You want to eat those by themselves. And then you get into your other fruits, and those take anywhere from, hour and a half to digest. Anywhere from an hour to 3 hours to digest. Usually on the lower side if you're combining them well, right? And then you start to get into your starches and things of that nature. Now you're talking 3 to 4 hours, 3 to 5 hours. And then your meats are anywhere from 8 to 24 hours. Listen to that, 8 to 24 hours of digestion. Think of how much energy you are depleting from your body throughout that process. So what does that mean when you're depleting that energy? Well, that means that your body doesn't have the necessary energy to do its regular functions. Remember, the body is always trying to achieve health, no matter what. It's always trying to achieve health. So if your body is fully consumed energetically through digestion, then it doesn't have the ability and the energy left to do what it needs to do. And you can only imagine the accumulation of issues that happen down the line. Now, we can get into that, in more detail later on in future videos, but I'm just trying to give you a basis. I try to keep things as basic as possible. Energy efficient. You want to consume as much energy, and fruits are the most energetic food on the planet, bar none. And that's where foods like processed foods really come into play because they don't really provide you much energy at all. So not only are you depleting your energy, you're not regaining any energy. So as you start to go down the line from fruits to vegetables to seeds and then nuts and then starches and then meats and then processed foods, the amount of energy you're receiving from as we go down the ladder get less and less, and they start to tax your body more and more. So it's like a balance. You want to use the least amount of energy and you want to consume the most amount of energy. That is how the body works. It's simple. You don't have to get into the macros and the micros and the this and the that and the big words and the scientific this, that, and the other. Look, those people, they do what they do because they've learned something based on a specific system. And it's that same system I talked about at the beginning of this video. They have learned, they have built their acumen on a germ theory system, a reactive system. We are talking about a proactive system, understanding the reasoning behind the effect, the absolute cause. So energy efficiency is where it's at. Drop a comment, definitely give me that thumbs up and definitely subscribe because we're going to get even deeper into all of this. Like I said, shout out to Dr. Robert Morse. For all he has provided to anybody out there who's looking to truly understand the body. I am a disciple of his, as well as a lot of other people as well. But energy efficiency, when you eat, understand that balance. Ask yourself throughout the day, is what I'm eating for the betterment of me or for the detriment of me? Is what I'm eating going to provide me energy or is it going to deplete me of my energy? And when you answer those questions and you're aware of those questions, you'll make better decisions when it comes to your diet and your health. So hope you enjoyed this, and I'll be back next week with another episode of the RL Truth. Peace.